It's time that you stop trying to control others and learn to focus on mastering your own mind. Have you ever caught yourself trying to control the actions, the thoughts, or the emotions of all the other people around you? Maybe it's your spouse or your partner or your kids or your coworkers or even a stranger on the internet. If you're honest, you've probably done this more than once. I know I have. It's a human tendency. It's part of our nature. We want things to go the way we want things to go. And when they don't go the way we want them to go, we try to exert control over others to make ourselves feel more secure. But here's the raw, honest truth. You can't control anyone else. You can't control their thoughts. You can't control their emotions. You can't control their decisions, and you can't control their actions. So let's be real. Most of us can't even control our own minds. We can't stop overthinking. We can't stop reacting emotionally. We can't stop procrastinating. Or we can't stop getting stuck in these negative patterns. So why do we think we can control the minds and behaviors of others when we haven't even mastered our own? Now, I don't want this video to be about blaming or shaming, but it's about understanding why we try to control others, why it never works, and how shifting our focus to mastering our own minds can lead to freedom and peace and strengthen our relationships. Because control is an illusion. Control is a comforting idea. It makes us feel like we're safe and that everything will go according to plan, and that nothing can hurt us. But control is an illusion, especially when it comes to other people. Why do you say that? Well, one, people have free will. Everyone has their own thoughts, their own emotions, and their own things that motivate them. And no matter how much you want someone to act in a certain way, they have the power to choose for themselves. Control breeds resistance. The more you try to control someone, the more they resist. We're wired to protect our autonomy. And so any attempt to control us and our behavior backfires, and we resist and we throw up roadblocks. And trying to control others is just exhausting. Trying to control others is a never-ending battle, and you will constantly feel frustrated, anxious, and disappointed because people won't always do what you want. So why do we try to control others? Understanding this part of it and why we try to control others can actually help us break this habit, this negative trance. And a few reasons that we do this are, one, we fear uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. So we try to control people and situations to reduce that feeling of uncertainty. Two, we want validation. Sometimes we want certain people to act a specific way because it makes us feel validated, loved, or respected. And it's because of unresolved inner issues. If we're not in control of our own thoughts, emotions, or habits, we may project that need for control onto others. Again, the harsh truth is we can't control anyone else. No matter how hard you want to, no matter how much effort you put into it, it's not going to work. You can't control what someone else thinks. You can't control what someone else thinks about you. How they feel in a given moment. You can't control that. You can't control the decisions they make. Even if you think you know what's best for them, they still have to make that decision. But the good news is you don't need to. You don't need to control any of those aspects. The only thing you need to control is yourself and your mind. And while we can't control others, we do have the power. We do have the ability to control ourselves. We have the ability to control or direct our thoughts. We have the ability to control or direct our emotions and to control and direct our behaviors. And this is where real freedom and peace come from. Not by trying to change the people around you, but by changing your response to them. So when you begin focusing on your own mind, you'll find the transformative power. You will regain your power. When you stop trying to control others, you take your power back. You're no longer at the mercy of other people's actions or reactions. And you build emotional resilience. By mastering your own mind, you become less reactive, more grounded. We talked about response versus reaction in another video. And you can learn to handle these situations with calm and clarity and respond. And you'll improve your relationships. When you stop trying to control the people around you, you create space for healthier, more authentic connections, and people feel respected and valued, which leads to better communication and a more mutual understanding. So how do you do this? How do you focus on your own mind? If you're at a place where you're ready to shift and change your focus from trying to control others to mastering your own mind, then here's a couple of practical steps that can get you started. I'm a big proponent of mindfulness exercises, mindfulness breathing, mindfulness meditation. So start practicing mindfulness. Being mindful is the art of being present with your thoughts and your emotions without any judgment. It helps you notice when you're trying to control someone else, and it allows you to redirect that focus inward. So just try this. Take a few breaths in and out when you notice yourself feeling frustrated or reactive. And ask yourself, inside your mind, you don't have to say it out loud, but just ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? And what do I need in this moment? And then reframe your expectations. Unrealistic expectations lead to attempts at control. Second, reframe your expectations. Unrealistic expectations often lead to attempts to control others. If you reframe those expectations to focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset, then you'll notice things start to change. Instead of thinking, I need them to listen to me, try this thought. I will express myself clearly and calmly, regardless of how they respond. And notice what changes. And third, build emotional awareness. Understanding what triggers you can help you stop projecting onto others. Pay attention to patterns. What's happening when you feel that need to control everything going on around you? What emotions are driving this need to control? And then develop some self-discipline. Mastering your own mind requires self-discipline. And you can start small. Set some daily intentions for how you want to show up. Practice gratitude. By practicing gratitude, you'll begin to shift your focus to the positive things in your life. Rather than seeing all of the negatives all of the time, you begin to notice things aren't as bad as they seem. They never are, really, honestly. And let go of the outcome. Trying to control others often comes from this attachment to a specific outcome. If you learn to detach yourself from the results and focus on the process instead, instead of thinking, well, they need to do what I say, change your focus and think more along the lines of, I'll communicate my needs more clearly. Whatever happens, happens. And when you stop trying to control others, you're freeing yourself. The irony of the whole thing is the more you try to control others, the more out of control you feel. But when you let go of that need for control, you free yourself. You free yourself from constant frustration. You free yourself from trying to meet these impossible standards. And you free yourself from the emotional baggage of trying to manage everyone else's life. Now, this does not mean that you stop caring about people or their actions. It simply means you stop attaching your peace of mind to what they do. So what happens when you begin to focus on yourself, when you shift that energy from controlling others to mastering your own mind, you'll notice a few things happening. And it may even surprise you. One, you'll find clarity. You'll stop wasting all of this mental energy on things you can't change, and you'll begin to focus on what truly matters. You'll build inner peace by letting go of this controlling need. It brings a sense of calm and acceptance. You'll realize that you can handle whatever comes your way, no matter what others do. And you may find you actually inspire others. When you lead by example, showing calm, confidence, and self-mastery, you naturally inspire those around you to do the same. So I want to issue you a challenge to let go. Because letting go of control isn't always easy, especially if it's a habit and a negative trance that you developed over time, but it's a challenge worth taking. So start small. As always, baby steps, starting small. And the next time you feel that urge to control someone's actions, stop. Ask yourself, why does this matter to me? And redirect that energy inward towards something you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, and your responses. And over time, this shift, this change will become second nature. We're building new habits, making better choices, and you'll find yourself feeling lighter, freer, and more at peace with the world around you. So as we wrap up this video today, some final thoughts. You can't control others, but you can control how you show up in the world. You can choose to master your own mind. You can build emotional resilience, and you can create a life of freedom and authenticity. So stop wasting energy and time on trying to manage everyone else's life. Instead, focus on creating the life you want. One thought, one choice, one moment at a time. Because the truth is, when you master your own mind, you don't need to control anyone else. You've already won.